Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now July 17th of 2020, and ever since the release of Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, a lot of fans around the world have been very intrigued about the future of the Star Wars franchise and exactly where things are going by Bob Iger, Bob Chapek, and other creators like, of course, Jon Favreau, George Lucas, Dave Filoni, and what they're really going to deliver to the table for the Star Wars fans. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, the one thing about Disney's Star Wars is that we do know that they are now in a position of desperation to really get the ball rolling again when it comes to Star Wars. Essentially, what they want to do is that they really want to bring Star Wars back to the way it used to be before 2012 when Disney took over Lucasfilm. That's exactly what they want to do. They want to bring the fans back. They want to reunite the Star Wars fandom to how it was some years after the release of the prequel trilogy movies were all done, such as Revenge of the Sith. Now, moving on forward, we do know that Lucasfilm's Kathleen Kennedy, thankfully, is no longer involved on a creative scale for the most part for these new Star Wars movies and TV shows. She's only going to be involved with 2 TV shows, one of which being the Leslie Headland Star Wars TV series, the other of which being a currently untitled animated Star Wars TV show for Disney Plus that will release in the next couple of years. Now, the thing about all of this is that one thing that Kathleen Kennedy is trying to do is that she is really trying to rebrand Star Wars with the Leslie Headland Star Wars TV series. With that being said, of course, however, with both Bob Iger and Bob Chapek now fully invested with their new Star Wars projects and moving past the Skywalker saga, they are also hiring new creatives to become a part of the new Star Wars universe to create a better future for fans around the world. It's noted that behind the scenes, many changes are being made to the Star Wars franchise by Bob Chapek, where it's explained that just recently Chapek has been hard at work by regulating Lucasfilm and how Star Wars will be handled throughout the entire decade. It's noted that just recently Bob Chapek canceled one of Kathleen Kennedy's main projects that was going to air on Disney Plus as a TV series that would be centered on the Old Republic era, where Kathleen Kennedy was going to develop her own Knights of the Old Republic story, rather that would actually promote identity politics by using characters like Darth Revan and even Darth Malgus in the series. It's noted that Chapek recently canceled this major project and is replacing it with a proper version of the Old Republic era by George Lucas and other creators that will do it in an accurate manner for the fans to be satisfied with. Bob Chapek canceled what was going to be a 12-episode TV series for Disney Plus, and that Kennedy also wanted to not follow the Old Republic timeline and change around the history of that era in her new version of Knights of the Old Republic story. So let me just say one thing right now, is that obviously this was the best decision by Bob Chapek. There's no denying here that Chapek is really trying to create his own image of Star Wars, his own legacy, if you will, to really regain the Star Wars fans, to really gain their trust and really bring them back into the theater seats, and of course to subscribe to Disney Plus. Now, here's the thing about the Old Republic and Knights of the Old Republic. These are, of course, great stories in Star Wars Legends. A lot of fans love them, including myself. And the fact that Kathleen Kennedy was going to make a TV series on that timeline and would completely disregard exactly what it used to be or what it was going to be, on an accurate scale. She wanted to completely do away with that concept and just kind of bring it from the ground up and do her own version of that series. Now, we heard her talk about this about a year and a half ago at an interview where Kathleen Kennedy said that they talk about Knights of the Old Republic all the time, about a movie or a TV show, kind of exploring that timeline in Star Wars. And this would have been a disaster. There's no other way to really say it, is that when you promote identity politics and activism by using main characters like Darth Revan and Darth Malgus in series like this, I think it really would have threw off a lot of hardcore fans for good, permanently. I think that they would have been out for good, like that's the last straw. There's no fixing Star Wars, that's it. That's exactly how they would have reacted. Now, thankfully, though, this was canceled. Bob Chapek is doing his own version of the Old Republic with George Lucas, Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, and other creators coming on board to handle everything moving forward. And that is one thing to look forward to, is that if you guys have not seen The Old Republic, if you guys are very unfamiliar with Knights of the Old Republic and such, go ahead and check out those cutscenes on the internet. Amazing, sequences that really give you the idea of what these new Star Wars TV shows can really be capable of doing. So, like I've said before in the past, guys, let me know what you think about this entire situation, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to morning.